Dumela, let us finish off this paper here. We were doing, I think we did question 2. We were supposed to start with question 3, which is budgeting. And as I've said, it's adapted from DBE November paper 2, 2022. Now we have the information that relates to JR Sanitizers, Pty Ltd, which is the private company. The CEO is Juanita Rose. James Peter is the bookkeeper. We have been given sales, cost of sales, and debtors collection. And fortunately here we're just given total sales. Now you need to remember cash sales we receive money immediately when it comes to cash sales. And when it comes to credit sales, we have to look at terms and conditions. And we've got cost of sales. And obviously that'll be cost of sales for all sales, not just cost of sales of cash sales or cost of sales of credit sales. So I need more information. I cannot just conclude that cost of sales is equivalent to total purchases. I cannot assume that I need to be told. And for me to be told, they normally say a nice thing that the company or the business maintains a fixed stock base. All right. Now, what they said in the first point is that cash sales comprise of 30% of total sales. Okay, that means that your credit sales will be 70%. And then they told you that debtors settle their accounts in the month following the month of sale. I just wanted to quickly go to this here, which is the answer book, just to check what is it that they require here. And this has to do with creditors' payment schedule. So it's not about debtors. And for now, that means I'll have to wait a little bit to determine the amounts that will be received from debtors. Actually, here's one here. So I can actually use that information to answer this part of the question where they want us to calculate collection from debtors. And that will be for December 2022. According to the information booklet that we've been given, our debtors, our credit sales, that is our debtors settle their account in the month following the month of sale. And since they were collections for December, it means that we're looking at November credit sales. And we don't have November credit sales, so we have to calculate credit sales for November, which will be 70% of the total sales. We've been given 100% of sales, which is that 643,500. You will take that and multiply it by 70% to get your credit sales. And those credit sales will be paid in December. So just take your November total sales, which is 643,500, and multiply it by 70%, and that will be paid in December. And that will be the answer for number 1 of this question here, because they just wanted the collection from debtors for December 2022. All right, let's move on. Now, B is all about purchases of stock and payments to creditors, which will enable us to answer the first part of the answer book. And that's a nice thing about the answer book. You can just answer a question. You don't have to answer from question 1. You just answer what you can answer at that point. And we have answered A already without answering the first question before the question that we just answered. Now, here they gave us purchases of stock and payments to creditors. A base stock is maintained, which is good. So they're telling us that cost of sales will be equal to total purchases. So instead of writing cost of sales there, you can just replace that and put total purchases, all right? And of the total purchases, we know that 15% of total purchases will be cash purchases. Now, for cash purchases, money will be received immediately in the month of the purchase, and creators are paid according to the following trend. 80% are paid in the month of purchase to receive a 5% discount, and 20% are paid in the month after the purchase. So basically, we pay our creditors over 2 months. We pay 80% in the month of purchase, and we pay 20% the following month, which is the month after the purchase. Um, what we need to do first is to get our credit purchases. Find your credit purchases. You've been given total purchases for each month. Find credit purchases for each month. For October, what are your credit purchases? You'll take that 354,000 multiplied by 85 because they told you that cash purchases were 15%. And credit purchases for November will be 390,000 multiplied by 85%. And December credit purchases will be 262,000 multiplied by 85%. And then you check the answer book as to which payments do they want. Okay, the first payment that they want is, let me see, from October purchases. Can I collect anything in December from October purchases? Know that 80% of October purchases, they have already gave it to you, by the way, which is 300,900. Credit purchases for October will be 300,900. 80% of that will be paid in October. 20% of that will be paid in November, and that completes your 100%. So you have paid all your October credit purchases. By the end of November, all of them will have been paid. What about the November credit purchases? That's 331,500. 80% of that will be paid in November, which is, well, it's 80%, but you will only pay, I forgot the discount. I think the discount was 5%. You'll only pay 95% of 80%. So when you take 331,500, you multiply it by 85. Well, we have already multiplied it by 85%. Sorry. So you're going to just take that credit purchases of 331,000 because it's already the 85%, which is your credit purchases. You will multiply it by 80% and then multiply it by 95%. It should give you that 251,940. And 20% of the 331,500 will be paid in December. So you will take that 331,500 multiplied by 20%. 20% of it will be paid in December. What about December credit purchases? They were not given to us, but you could have easily calculated it, okay, by just, they gave you the total for November, which is 312,120. I actually just saw that now. I didn't use that. Instead, I took my total purchases for December, all right, which is the equivalent of cost of sales. My total purchases for December amounted to 262,000. I multiplied it by 85% to get my credit purchases. And my credit purchases gave me 222,700. And then I knew that of the 222,700, 80% of it will be paid in December. Okay. 80% of it will be paid in December, but we will get 90%, we'll get 5% discount, meaning that of the 80%, we will only pay 95% of it because we got 5% discount. And that will simply give you what you need, which is payments that will be made in December, and that will be 169,252. To get your total purchases for December, you just add them up. So you will take 66,300 and add it with 169,252. You will get 235,552. That's it. Done with that. All right. Let's read the next point, which is all about rent. Here they say that a storage space is rented out at a fixed rate per square meter. If you did ratios in grade 8, you will know how to work out with ratios here. An existing tenant occupies 60 square meters. His lease expires on the 30th of June 2023. First of all, I want you to find out what a lease is, okay? And then they said a new tenant has signed a lease agreement for the period 1 December 2022 to the 30th of November 2023. She will occupy a 75 square meter storage area. Now, they didn't tell us how much a new tenant will be paying for rent. A lease agreement is basically an agreement that a landlord and the tenant enter into. It specifies the terms and conditions of the lease. For how long are you going to stay at the property, and what you need to abide to, and what are the payments arrangements, so on and so forth. So here, according to this, your payment arrangement depends on the space that you occupy, right? But we already have an existing tenant who occupied 60 square meters, all right? But we don't know how much this existing tenant was paying. So we're going to check what we have been given, which is, this is all we've been given. They gave us an extract from the cash budget, but they gave us an extract from the cash budget for November and December. And you will notice that we do have rent for November, which was 15,000. So there was only one existing tenant in November who occupied 16 square meters. All right. So we can actually use that by finding how much this tenant pays per square meter. Because in December, there will be two of them. In November, there was only one. And that one tenant will be joined by another tenant in December. And that's what they wanted us to calculate here. So you will take that 15,000 and divide it by 60, which is your square meters, and you will get 250 per square meter, meaning that the new tenant will be paying 250 per square meters, but they occupy 75 square meters. Okay, that was given to you, by the way. There it is, 75 square meters. So it means that their rent will be 250 multiplied by 75, and that will give us 18,750. And that is for 75. I don't know why I wrote per meter there. Okay. That was a mistake. Now that's how much the new tenant will be paying, meaning that my rent income for December will be the rent of the new tenant plus the rent of the old tenant, and my rent income for the month of December will be 33,750. That's it. Now, let us go to the next part, which is about salaries. Now, indeed, it says that a new employee will be appointed from the 1st of December 2022. He will earn 14,840 per month. So for the month of December, the new employee will earn that 14,840. And then they say all other employees will receive an increase of 4.5% per annum effective from 1 December 2022. Okay, I don't know what the question is asking here. So I'll have to check what is being asked. Because if they want a December salary, they gave it to us. They told us that a December salary for the new employee will be 14,840. Question is, do they want us to calculate the salary for December or what? Let me just check. According to number 3, they want us to calculate a salary for November, but they only gave us a salary of the new employee that was appointed on the 1st of December 2022. How do we get the November salary? Note that the new employee was not there in November. And you will notice that according to the extract from the cash budget, we are actually missing the November 2022 salary. We've been given the December salary, which is 55,595. Now, to work backwards, so basically we just have to work backwards to get the November salary. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take that total salary and minus the salary of the new employee, which was 14,840. Now I'm left with the salary of the existing employees, which is 40,755. But that 40,755 is at the increased amount because they told you that the existing employee's salary was increased by 4.5%. So that 40,755 is at 104.5%. It is at 104.5%. And we need the salary before the increase. So the salary before the increase will be at 100%. So before the increase, we had 100% salary, and then we added 4.5% to it. It took us to 104.5%, which is equivalent to the 40,755. To get the salary before the increase, you will have to take that 40,755, you multiply by what you want, you divide by what you have. We want 100%, which is the salary before the increase. We will divide by the increased percentage because the salary at the moment is sitting at 104.5%. Okay, so that is why we have that 104.5. Now, when you calculate this, it will give you 39,000. So the salary for November 2022 was 39,000. All right. Now, in 3.3.1, they want us to calculate the deposit that was paid for the purchase of the company vehicle during December 2022. I'm guessing that will be the next point. The next point here says that the purchase of company vehicle for the CEO and insurance. So a new company vehicle will be purchased on the 1st of December 2022. A deposit of 25% of the cost of the vehicle, excluding interest, will be paid on this date. I would highlight that because that is key. So it means that we are going, if we pay a deposit of 25%, it means that we will be owing 75%, okay? Now, the remaining balance will be paid, oh, that's what we are owing. The remaining balance will be the 75%, will be paid in equal monthly installments of 20,800 over 24 months, 24 months. So to get the total amount that we are going to pay, 24 months equates to 2 years. You will just take that 20,800 and multiply it by 24. It'll tell you how much we actually were owing. But the problem with that is that this last part here, they say that 20,800 includes interest. So we don't know how much we were owing after we paid the deposit because that 20,800 includes interest. And that's a problem. So I'll just find how much I would have paid over 2 years, and hopefully they'll give me some information about interest. Point 3 says interest calculated for the full 2-year period, so that is not per month, is 45,600. Now there is interest. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get my monthly repayments, find the total monthly total amount that I would have paid over 2 years, and then take that total minus the interest. That will give me the exact amount that I was owing immediately after I paid the deposit. Okay, now they say the existing insurance premium will increase by the amount applicable to the new company vehicle. It will be payable at the end of each month from the 31st of December 2022. I don't know why that is there, but hopefully it is important. Okay. First of all, guys, here they want us to calculate the deposit. So we want the remaining balance. And to get the remaining balance, we're going to take the total payments, which is 20,800, multiplied by 24 to get the total payments that we'll have made over 2 years. And whatever we get there, we're going to subtract interest from it. And that will give us the amount that we were owing immediately after paying the deposit. And that will have been 453,600. But here, what they are asking us to calculate is the deposit that will be paid. Oh, now we calculated the amount that we have, which is the 75%, which is that 453,600, which is the amount that we were owing, but they don't want the amount that we were owing here. They want the deposit amount. So the amount that we were owing, as I indicated earlier, it is the 75%, meaning that they are looking for the 25%. You will have to multiply by what you want, divide by what you have. So we want the deposit. So I'm going to multiply that 453,600 by 25 and divide it by 75 to get my deposit. And the deposit for the vehicle will be 151,200. All right, let's move to the next question because I'm done with my information booklet. I think I've read everything there. I've read pretty much everything. They're telling us about delivery expenses, are outsourced to although delivery expenses are budgeted at a fixed percentage of the monthly sales. All right. And then they gave us this information, which is the cash budget. And they also gave us variance analysis. I was actually very impressed that already in matric, you guys are doing variance analysis. We actually did this I did this in my second year when I did MINAC. There's something they call management accounting and finance. When you do your Bachelor of Commerce or Bachelor of Accountancy. Okay, this is all I've been given so far. I'm just gonna move on and check what the next question is asking. It says that Juanita is concerned about the cash position for December 2022. She proposes moving the purchase of the vehicle to January 2023. Use the table below to show the effect of this proposal to the December 2022 cash budget. Now, note that 120,000 is at the end of December and it's a deficit, which is a bank overdraft. And it takes into account all costs that relate to the new vehicle. And basically what they're asking us to do here is Juanita wants to purchase the vehicle in January, and they want us to determine if what Juanita wants to do, is it making sense financially? Will it actually save money? That is the question that they're asking. So first of all, we had to pay a deposit on this vehicle in December. Okay, we had to pay it. That's why we calculated it in the cash budget. The deposit was shown as Roman figure. Okay, it was not shown here. It was not shown here. I just want the deposit that was paid. So it was not shown there. They only gave us the purchase of vehicle. Monthly installments will be, we paid 20,800. I hope you see that it's under payments in December 2022. Those are estimated monthly payments. And then immediately above that, they said the purchase of vehicle, which is a deposit, they put it as a question mark. So we don't have that. It's a question mark. But we are supposed to pay it in December, and we calculated the deposit. We said the deposit will be 151,200. So that deposit, if we do not pay it in December, it will save us some cash. So we will show it here without brackets. And I also saw that we had monthly deposit of 20,800. We'll add them back. And that will save us some cash as well. Another thing is what they said right at the end. And I said, I don't know why they told us that. Are we going to use it? Which was the last point where they said that the existing insurance, so we have an existing insurance premium, will increase by the amount applicable to the new company vehicle. So by buying this vehicle, our insurance will increase because for this new vehicle, we have to pay insurance for it. And I'm going to go to my cash budget. And I noticed that my insurance for November was 6,500 and my insurance for December is now 9,700. And the only reason why the insurance has changed is because we are predicting to buy a new vehicle in December. And it has increased by how much? That insurance increase, it's solely because of the purchase of the new vehicle. So if we don't buy a new vehicle, we're going to save the increased amount, which is 3,200. That's why I'm adding it up. I'm gonna go to my cash budget and also check any other cash outflows that resulted from the new vehicle. And the first one that I see there is fuel for the company vehicle, which is 7,500. Were we going to pay that if we didn't have a vehicle? No, we were not going to pay that. So let's save that. So if we don't buy a new vehicle, we are going to save that amount of money. So I am going to add it back. And if I add it back, let's see, will my budgeted deficit decrease? Will it change from being a deficit to being a surplus? Add everything up. Negative 120,000 plus 151,200 plus 20,800 plus 3,200 plus 7,500. How much does that give you? It gives you 62,700. So yes, if we don't buy a vehicle in December, we are going to save money. We will end up having a surplus. So she was right. We are going to save money if we don't buy this vehicle in December. 3.4 says, Juanita is concerned about her decision in October to adjust the markup percentage and the amount actually spent on advertising. Provide 2 points to indicate whether these were wise decisions or not, quote figures or calculations. So far, what I've checked, there was nothing about advertising expense or the markup being reduced. So the only part that I didn't read of my answer book is this part here. So I'm guessing that information is right here.